Hello folks, Scott Doonican here. So, I decided that this time around for Leap of Faith 4 I was going to do some videos along the way to show you a little bit of what we've been doing behind the scenes and how it all comes together. And we are now at the point where tomorrow the albums will be arriving here in Barnsley. And so we wanted to show you kind of a little bit of how it all comes together near the end. Here I am in the music room, and on screen at the minute this is Logic Pro 10, which is what we record. Well, it's what I use for editing and all that kind of stuff. And basically, if I click the spacebar on it,
which looks a mango.
So you can hear the music there. So that is actually from the Lichfield Guildhall show, which is what makes up disc 1 and 2 of the album. Paul Smith, who usually does all of the sound for Fairport Convention, many other much bigger named artists, was behind the desk and recorded all of the stuff onto onto multi-track. And what we did was we then mixed it, and then this version that's here is what's on the CD, because this is after we've mixed it all together, and then I had to make edits. Then that gets bounced down to make one solid file, and then I then send that to Joel Howe, who puts it into a thing called Hoffer, I think it is. It's like DDP software. So what that does is it basically makes it ready for going onto a CD at the manufacturers. So if you look at it, we were able to record the show.
Seem to whisper I love you.
So this is Dream a Little Dream, and you can hear
in the sycamore tree.
That's the vocal light sound.
Dream a little dream of me.
You can hear the ukulele being picked up as well. The uke itself's here, going straight into the desk, and then you've got the audience mic, which picks everybody up. So when you blend them all together, so we were able to record that straight into my computer from our mixing desk, and it meant that we then got all of the tracks that we needed to do. And obviously, we did exactly the same when we did the Lichfield show. Paul Smith did that and sent me the tracks afterwards. But it means that you can do it at home, you can edit it afterwards if you need to. If you make any mistakes, which obviously I did make mistakes on the night, they're all in the video. You can watch the video and find the mistakes that were edited out. But yeah, it's a much more easier way to work than they did way back in the 70s, where that you'd have to be able to have the money to hire the Rolling Stones mobile unit, which is a massive truck with a load of recording equipment in the back, all reel-to-reels. So yeah, different times. Obviously it means that you can do things. You can put things straight up to Bandcamp, which is where we upload the stuff so that we can then create the download codes. There's really nice things out there that means that you don't have to have a record label's backing to actually make it in the industry. I'm not selling massive units, but at least if anything, it means that I can still do it without having to worry about all of the bigger things that you couldn't have done even back in the 90s, One of the other things that happened in terms of making the whole album was the process of editing video, because obviously we wanted to make it quite the interactive package, and everything that's on the CDs from the 3 different discs. So disc 1 and 2 were filmed at Lichfield Guildhall on the first night of the tour, the biggest ticketed show I've ever done. And then the last night was filmed at Sheffield, of which we used some of the stuff that wasn't in the show at Lichfield to make up disc 3, along with some stuff from Stourbridge that I did on the night I was in Stourbridge that also didn't make the Lichfield show. But what we did, we also put all of the footage from the Sheffield show, it turned out to be a 3-hour show because I didn't shut up talking for the whole of it. But it made for quite a fun night. But they were all filmed on these little things. This is a GoPro. In fact, what I'm filming this GoPro on at the minute is another GoPro. So we've got 2 of these. Great little cameras. Really compact and small. You can put an SD card on the side of it and just film it, then drop it into your computer afterwards. But it was filmed on 2 of those, and one of these little zoom cameras as well, which is a Q2N. They're actually designed for getting really good sound, although because we recorded it straight from the mixing desk, it meant that we didn't really need to worry too much about that. But these lovely little cameras, really compact, and it means that you can just set it up. This was the one that was set up on the balcony at the show in Sheffield, and it was also the one that filmed from the rear of the stage on the night of the Lichfield show. The only slightly annoying thing at the Lichfield show was that the lighting guy, who was lovely, insisted that I move my camera so he could put more lights in, and then I moved the camera, and then there's a big shiny light that hits the camera every time you see the rear view. So one of the things we also did is whenever we took all the files off the GoPro cameras, so obviously they come and it records so many minutes of footage, and you know, you can see from this that here's the lady that was introducing me.
And of course you can sign up to our regular newsletter and follow us on social media to get them.
And obviously all of that stuff, it sounds quite boomy in the room. You can hear me talking. And
back there, my Bluetooth pedals decided to latch onto all of your phones. And I've now got a list of about 97 phones on here.
So all the stuff that didn't even make it onto the final thing is here. Maybe I probably should have done a blooper reel as well. But the idea is that you can hear it's quite boomy, quite echoey in the room. So what we then later on do is we have to then take the sound that was from the mixing desk and you sync it up so that when it's all synced, it means that
She's got a gift like Yuri Geller. There's not a single metal
the camera doing exactly what you need to do with all the sound synced up, so your mouth's going along with the with what I'm singing, and then you render all of that. So that's camera 1, you fix all that together, and then you do camera 2 and you fix all that together, and camera 3 fix all that together, and then you put it into the editing software, and then you have to chop through and choose which angles you want to get the final cut that you see at the end of the process. And obviously in the case of the rear camera, I was able to, at the beginning of the show, I basically took all of the footage at the beginning of the show and speeded it up so that you got the audience arriving from nobody at all.
Ladies and gentlemen!
And then obviously you can see people flying in all over Lichfield Guildhall, so that you got the idea that the show's about to start. But that footage took about an hour, so we filmed for an hour and then we speeded it up so that it was like, you know, all over in 30 seconds. The only thing I had to do as we were doing that was every now and again I'd walk in front of the camera myself, and so I had to cut those individual frames out of the thing. Obviously on there as well you've got the Sheffield Lantern show, which I did exactly the same on that. Obviously I did a recording of the show on the night. I then had to sync that up, so I got all the synced videos. So this is actually the videos once they've been synced up. So this is from camera 1, this is the left hand camera. So the sound is now back in the room,
What you can get for songwriting,
and that'll be the one that you'll see in the video. But then obviously you get camera 2 coming in from that side. You've got the balcony at the Lantern. We managed to set up an extra camera for the balcony. I only used this really for the bits where you wanted to cut away. We did also have the issue that the camera that you can just see in the background there kept going off, and so what we had to do was every now and again I had to come across and basically set it running. So we have got throughout the show, so you can see where there's bits where that camera just, we lose it for a bit because there you go, we've lost a bit there. There's like 2 or 3 minutes where we didn't have a camera, and then I remember to switch it back on.
Right, sorry, we're filming them all coming in now,
the joys of live recording. And so I then put all of those tracks together all on here. Camera 1, camera 2, and so on, and then I have to then make splits in the show and then cut out the bits that I don't want and leave so it then cuts between that camera.
So I'm filming tonight.
And then so you then get a final version, which took the best part of several weeks to edit both of the shows together. Now the artwork started way back a few months ago, where I got in touch with our good friend, the wonderful American artist Payne Prophet, and asked him if he could create something for this project. And Payne was incredibly awesome, and he created not just one piece of art, but with two. One of which is here. You can actually see the original artwork there. Just zoom out on that. So that is the actual original. It's roughly 12 inch by 12 inch. Would have been perfect for a record cover if we had done this on vinyl. But he did want the other one, the front cover is actually in our kitchen, which was very kind of him to actually send us the originals. But what we did do was I then got the artwork that Payne had sent, and obviously he digitised that, and so that was then imported into Photoshop, and we were able to put. That's the front cover. Obviously, you can just see it says front. That's got because it's got the pink guidelines on to show you how it looks whenever it's all done. So we've got the front cover there, the spine, as you'll see on your CD. If you look where these little pink lines are, this is what they call in the industry bleed, and that's so that whenever they print it, you don't get any little white bits around the edge. They do a little bit more than they need, and then the pink lines are where they cut, using the guillotines at the printing presses. And so yeah, that piece of artwork that you just saw a minute ago, obviously I got the right fonts. I had to go and study the old original Marmite fonts from the early 1900s. I did all sorts of research on this one. I found out all the history of Marmite and how they made it in Burton-on-Trent from all the leftover bits of yeast and stuff from the brewing. This photo was taken by Amanda. And it was taken at the Gulbenkian in Canterbury a few years ago, and I loved the fact there was all this vast space. There was actually an audience there, but you couldn't see them because it was so dark. But that quote there from Andy Warhol, "Don't think about making art, just get it done." I think that's very much my thinking on most things. Just get it done. Let everybody else decide if it's good or bad, whether they love it or hate it. And I love the idea of the love and hate thing, especially how it fits with the whole Marmite branding that they've had for the last few years. And while they're deciding, make even more art. Why the hell not? And obviously this was the follow-up to the Soup album, so we're still following on with an Andy Warhol theme. So I figured that a pop art cover, which included the Marmite jars, and obviously that has been recreated on the front cover. We've never done an O-ring before, but this is where they make a cardboard sleeve that it slides inside. So obviously if you've come to this page and you're watching this video now, you've obviously peeled off that sticker and you've found the little QR code and you've scanned it, and that's why you're seeing this at the minute. But obviously that was designed so that is the cover, and then we stick the stickers on it. And we know that the artwork, the packages arrive tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning we will be sat diligently sticking. Amanda and myself will be sticking the best part of 400 of these stickers onto cover that bit up, so that it looks like the original Andy Warhol artwork for the Velvet Underground and Nico's debut album. So this artwork, the fonts are exactly the same as the Andy Warhol artwork for that album. The position of the record label logo, the stereo bit, the position of the photos as well. So the original artwork for the Velvet Underground album had a band photo, which I believe one of Andy Warhol's friends was also projected onto a picture of the band, and later on they had to airbrush it out because he tried to sue them, say that his image wasn't allowed to be used. I think he was skint at the time, so he was trying to make a quick buck. But these were all Amanda's photos from the night in question, and I actually had to Photoshop this top photo. You'll not notice it, but there was quite a distracting Litchfield Arts light that was here on this side, and what I had to do was I had to basically cut out what was going on this side here and flip it and put it there so that it looked symmetrical, and so that we covered the artwork. So in actual fact, this bit here is actually photoshopped in here so that we hid the quite distracting Lichfield Arts thing. There was also, down this side, there was the Lichfield Arts banner, like the one that I've got behind me. There was a Lichfield Arts one in pink, and I had to Photoshop that out as well. So there was a lot of faffing around in post-production trying to get the photos. And then these photos that Amanda took, which were lovely actually on the night, and I deliberately made sure that I got one of me on each of the different instruments, an omnichord, the one from behind with the guitar, one with the accordion and one with the uke, so that you got the idea that it was quite a varied show. Then there was all the allergen information, which I did originally look at the artwork to a proper jar of Marmite to inspire that. Then there's the artwork for the inside covers. There isn't a track listing on this album, so what we ended up doing was we made sure the track listing was on the disc. Now the discs themselves, I deliberately, for the last few Doonican's albums, have parodied the original Harvest label, which was a 70s record label, and there's plenty of bands that were on that label. Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, people like that, and it was originally kind of a green colour, very much like the one that was on the Soup album. Anyway, I decided to go for the Marmite red and yellow on this. But the track listing and obviously the songwriters and everything else was all put onto that. I had to do 3 of them, one for each disc, and then obviously you get a little flyer that's inside your package that'll have got the tour dates. So obviously come and see me on tour, that's always important. So this is actually the artwork that goes on the sleeve that the CD goes inside, and we had to make sure that we got the exact right size sticker to go over the artwork. So we had to make sure that the sizing was perfect. Obviously here in this file you can see there's a red line, and that again is that bleed line that they use so that they cut it out and they don't leave any white bits if it slips slightly. Going back to what I was saying earlier about the Harvest label, I used to, way back long before we had our discs manufactured, we used to literally do it really old school. So we used to get a set of CDRs, burnable CD discs that look like records, and they came with white labels, and I got a little rubber stamp and an ink pad, and I used to stamp every single one of the discs. So you can see there, I mean, it was really old school, and we used to have to burn the disc. The disc took ages to burn. I used to photocopy the covers way back in those days on the school photocopier whenever the boss was out, and then later we progressed to a slightly better rubber stamp. It looked a lot cleaner and clearer, and then we used to later on, used to get our packaging done, and then we'd still do this of burning our own discs until we got to the point where we started to crowdfund the albums. And obviously this is where you guys come in, because you are our record label in essence. I think Ginger Wildheart said that you only need about 150 fans to make a career in music nowadays. As long as you've got 150 fans that will get behind everything you do and buy your albums and buy your t-shirts or whatever, then you can have a sustainable career without having to be on a major label. And I think that's a wonderful thing. We're living in very different times. Obviously we're able to record from home. So another thing that's been really invaluable on this project has been the Dymo label writer. It's a little printer that my younger brother Matthew bought me a few years ago for Christmas, and basically it comes with some great little software that means that you can put labels inside with thermal labels, so they don't need a print, they don't need ink as such. But the idea is that you put your label and you arrange your label. Now what I've done is there's a way to actually import data, and you can basically create a file that has all of the download codes. So you basically download all the download codes and then you insert it there, and then it allows you to then print off 270 download codes all at once, and you hit print, and then it prints all of them out here. Now that's just one, just to give you an example, but we did that, and then what we did was we then got all of those download codes and we stuck them on the back of the stickers so that people didn't lose them. People will have already lost them, I know that. But then it was also useful for the stickers that go on the front of the black packaging, for all of the address labels, because there's 270 addresses that you have to put in that space as well and print off. But if it wasn't for this little piece of equipment, we would have had to spend a lot of money faffing around getting labels printed. In actual fact, just having the software And this little printer, as it's been probably the most important piece of kit that we've had for a long time. Okay, so it is the 22nd of August 2024. Thank you for that, Amanda. And we have just taken delivery, after all the 9 months of work that we've done to try and get the whole thing to this point. We have actually got 7 boxes of Marmite albums. Do you want to just take over camera for a minute, Amanda?
There you go.
I'm going to open one up and see.
Wait, it's a bitter disappointment.
It's a bitter disappointment of it all being wrong. Now let's hopefully.
Boxes inside boxes. It's like Inception.
In it. Boxes inside boxes. Here's the first box.
Oh.
More sellotape.
My mum's letter opener's helping. There you go.
In it. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Sneaky peek, sneaky peek.
Look at that.
Look at that.
A minute. This is number 1. I'm going to treat this as number 1. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Turn it right way. Oh, look at that, man.
So we got all of the stuff. And then look at that.
3 CDs.
Amazing. So there we go. We have got, now what we've got to do, the fun bit, is that we've got to take these through here to where we've started the, this is it, where all the download codes are and all the other things are going to stick on and all this stuff. But we've got to basically stick these stickers onto these, and that's going to take a few hours, I reckon.
I can't wait.
Are you ready, chuffed? Right, we're set up, and basically it's a case of peel these and put them
It's going.
on here. The hard bit is getting the bubbles out to make sure that they, I suppose if you start from the centre and push out, that works better.
I've got it out of that one.
So yeah, there you go. There's the first one.
It'll take several hours.
Right, so let's crack on. This might take a while. So it's exactly 1 o'clock and we're just beginning. Let's see how long it takes us to do all 400 of them. So it is currently 2:47. It's took us nearly 2 whole hours to do.
And 1 cup of coffee.
Yes.
And a bowl of cereal.
To do the last few. We're down to the last 3. So Amanda's been smoothing them up using a duster to get.
And checking.
Just checking that everyone's right as we go along. That's quality control for you.
Checking imperfections.
And here we go. This is the last one. Woohoo!
Trumpet.
Right. The next job is to start putting them into bags. Stick all of the numbered stickers on, and all of the outer packaging as well. Oh, and to put these little stickers inside as well that have got the downloads on the back.
Some flyers as
Oh,
well.
the flyers we've
haven't got yet.
We've got to go and pick them up, so we'll go and do that now, and then we'll come back and do the rest of the job. Here we are at Hot Metal Press, where we've had all of the inserts and stuff printed, and also some lovely art prints, which I'll show you in a bit.
So we're back in the car. We're now in possession of 2 lots of printing.
We have 2 boxes.
We're very happy. How happy are we?
I don't know, I'm not happy you've got a close-up camera in me mush.
Rock and roll. So we've now got these from the printers. So the lovely people at Hot Metal Press have created these little postcards, which I'm going to now sign, 400 of them, with the tour dates on the back. So wish me luck. I've got my Sharpie and I'm not afraid to use it. Let's do this. And there we go. It took me about an hour, but they're all signed. Right, now to put these into these bags and these into these bags. Why?
Need a cup of coffee.
Why do we do this? Because we love it. Why do we do it, Amanda? Because we love it. Cheers.
That's my coffee.
I just drank your coffee.
No!
Marmite, 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 Marmite.
So, whilst I've been over putting things into the bags, Amanda's sealing the bags. And guess what? You've got another job now, Amanda. You've got the job of putting these things on. So we've got
I'll give you one of them.
all of these, and basically,
Oh yeah, get on that.
yeah, that's it. And
Which way?
oh, I don't know. Probably, I don't know which way around it is.
Because
So
you're going to put a sticker on there, that
Yeah.
way. So why don't you do that way?
let's do that.
In middle?
Yeah, in the middle. This is not a guitar. Yes, it's Marmite. Right, I shall go back to my bagging area whilst you crack on with that. How you feeling, Amanda?
Confused.
Yeah, so basically we've been waiting for another box of these mailers. So we ordered 3 about 3 weeks ago. They went missing in transit. I had to then contact Amazon, and they got back to me and said, we'll refund you. I ordered another 3, 2 arrived, and then the other one was missing. So I had to get in touch with Amazon again, and they basically said, order another lot. So I ordered the last box to arrive today, and guess what's arrived? 2 dairy-free chocolate bars.
Hey!
To be honest, I don't even know what to say other than I don't like chocolate.
Well, they've refunded them, and we get to keep these, but we have no envelopes.
Which means that all of these that Amanda's been working on for the last couple of hours are not going anywhere until Monday now. Tuesday possibly, because it's a bank holiday. Yeehaw. Anyway, I'll crack on.
Some of them can go. We got chocolate.
I'm glad that you're happy about this situation. I'm not right chuffed. So, 2 hours later, we have finished the first 270. These are the ones that are going out to the people who pledged. However, they're not ready yet, are they, Amanda?
No.
No.
They need individual numbers on, and they need to be in envelopes, and they need to be with the.
So we've got numbers
address
1 to
labels.
270. We have also corresponded that with the order in which people ordered them. So all the address labels are in there. We've got to then make sure that we match that up so that everybody who ordered gets the right number. We didn't have to do this, but this is my OCD. But yeah, that's what 270 CDs look like. And then we've still got 130 left to sell on another day.
It's a small box though.
Yeah, that's not so bad. It's not taking over the loft.
It's not Rock and Reef.
It's not Rock and Reef. We've got 1,000 of them buggers.
Just less.
Yeah, anyway, if anybody wants to buy a copy of Rock and Reef, please do. So there we go. That's the first 200, all packaged up, ready to go. Amanda's just trying to do the last with the numbering over here. But we can't do anything now until Monday at the earliest because it's a bank holiday. And because Amazon have cocked up and sent us 2 chocolate bars rather than a load of mailers,
Might be having those in a second.
I don't blame you. I think you're ready for the emergency dairy-free chocolate. So here we are. It's Saturday, and we were waiting for one of these. What turned up, Amanda?
Some sort of yellow leather strap.
It was like some kind of
Small leather strap.
yeah, like the kind of thing you might find in a horse's bridle.
I'm not quite sure what it was.
It wasn't these.
It wasn't as good as the chocolate. It went back.
We've got to go and reorder and hope to God that it'll arrive tomorrow so that we can get sorted. Dear 75 in the Big Brother house. What's going on here apart from my accent?
Packaging errors.
Amazon again. What have they
After
done?
yesterday's fiasco, we decided to go to B&M and do a panic run of envelopes, which were a bit more expensive, but we'd still got them because we didn't trust that they weren't going to send them. Then, not only did we order it from 2 different accounts that had gone wrong, they then decided to send them from both accounts, even though you'd only ordered them from one. And we got some Sharpie pens from not
20 Sharpie pens. We sent them back as well. We didn't get the mailers we needed.
We don't know what's going to arrive tomorrow. That's going to be a whole...
I'm expecting a Black & Decker workbench and a giraffe. Anyway, we have got, thanks to B&M for saving our sorry asses, we have got 270 fully sealed and
fully
sorted.
laden.
That's 270 CDs ready to go after what's been a hellish few days. No thanks to Amazon and their packing department.
I think they've got an error on one of their
An error?
cards.
They're all on drugs. They must be. The kids in the packing department must be on drugs. That's the only thing I can explain it as.
I think they've either run out of them or there's an error on that item and they just put some random object in instead.
It's a bit mad. If you work at Amazon, by the way, and you're watching this, sort your shit out. Right, anyway, we're going to sign off because we've got to take these to the post office tomorrow. I'm not going to film that.
We're not taking them tomorrow. We can't take them Monday.
We're doing that on Tuesday.
Yes.
That means we get Monday off.
Hey!
Yay!
We get Monday to find out what they're going to send us tomorrow.
Oh God. Probably a wheelie bin. So, there we go, a job well done. However, there's one more thing that we've got to do. So, I've managed to get to the age of 45, and in that time, I have never, ever tried Marmite. And I think considering that, obviously, the album's called Marmite, and it's well documented that you either love it or hate it, I figured that the best way to try Marmite would be to finish this little documentary. And so, what we've got is a jar of Scott Doonican endorsed Marmite. Obviously, don't tell Unilever; they'll not probably know anything about it. I've got some cheese on toast. Amanda, would you like to? I'm quite nervous actually.
It's cheesy.
Oh, how thick is it?
Interesting.
Oh, it's thicker than I expected it to be.
Well, Dave, our friend Dave suggests the tiniest of amounts.
It's not loads.
This is a thin sliver
Right.
on the cheese. That's a big lump, that, Scott.
Right. Well,
That'll probably do both.
I'll do that. That's okay.
Oh, you had one job.
I had one job.
One job.
That's okay. That's not too thick. Right.
You're not feeling confident.
I'm not enough to yeah. All right.
Not going to butter both.
I'm going to recreate the artwork. Look at this. I've got the artwork on the wall of the kitchen as well. There's the artwork, and here's me.
Next to the artwork.
Wish me luck.
What's a lovely noise? I don't think you were sure about that. I trust him more. Look at him. He's loving it. Trying to lose bits.
Wow. I'm gonna go and get another load.
You try it?
No.